Today we're going to be making a pinhole camera. So a pinhole camera is taking photography right back to its basics. I'm going to make one out of this cardboard box that I bought in a $2 shop. You can make a pinhole camera out of anything, but the main thing is we need to try and make it light proof. So what we need to do is make a hole in one side of the box where our lens is going to go. Quick way to do that is to get your ruler and rule from one corner to the other. And get a little X on your box, and then X marks the spot basically. So what we want to do is cut a small opening in the box. I've got a Stanley knife to do that. Probably about 1 centimetre square, pretty much as small as you can make it. It doesn't matter if it's a bit rough. So there's our opening in the centre of the box. So the thing about a pinhole camera is you want to get your lens, which is your pinhole, as small as possible and as sharp as possible. The best material for that is a piece of aluminium drink can, which I've got here already cut up, and just cutting a small square out of that. Little sheet of aluminium, so it's really completely light proof and quite thin. So that's going to form our lens, and just punching a hole through with a pin. So that is the lens of the camera. I'm going to put this on the inside. And I've got some black tape. You could use other tape, you can use masking tape, but you find that some light kind of leaks through the opening in your box. So as much as you can seal up that opening, the better. So the next thing we need to do is make a shutter on here. So obviously the lens is open all the time. What we need to do is make a shutter for that. So the shutter is going to be just a small piece of black paper. So a little sheet like that, and simply put over the front of the lens like that. There's our pinhole camera made. The box is light proof. There's our shutter on the front. So the next thing is to load the camera up. And obviously be doing this in the dark, in a dark bag or a dark room. But we're going to do it in the daylight, just to show you what it would look like in the dark. Taking a piece of 4x5 sheet film, glue tack on each corner, and just sticking it onto the back of the pinhole camera. Once our film's loaded in there, it's light proof, and then when we go out to take our picture, this is the same as the shutter on a digital camera. We're pressing the button down, opens the lens, so the lens opens like that, exposes light through the lens, through the aluminium lens, and to the film at the back. And then once the exposure is finished, closing the lens up again, and then our image is sealed in there in the light-sensitive, light-proof box. What I find a handy little trick is just an elastic band, just to keep it together. Run it over the top of the shutter, so the shutter's sealed down, the box isn't going to come apart, and then you're ready to go outside and take a picture. Pinhole cameras actually need quite a long exposure, so outside in the daylight, you'd be roughly using about a 30-second exposure. So opening the lens for 30 seconds will allow enough light to form an image on the film in the back of the box, and then closing it back up. Here's our processed film, and you can see the image formed on this 4x5 sheet of black and white film. So the next step we've been doing with the pinhole photography is to then move it into the digital era, I suppose, and actually scanning this piece of film on a flatbed scanner, and then inverting the image in Photoshop, so making the negative into a positive, and then printing these images out at a digital mini lab. I suppose one of the things to consider with pinhole photography is to use available light, so bright sunlight is best, and it means that your exposures aren't going to be too long. And looking for areas of contrast, so light areas and dark areas, to give you a nice contrasty structure to your image. So it doesn't matter how you make a pinhole camera, whether you use a larger box like this for 4x5 sheet film, or whether you find a smaller box and shoot a smaller sized film like a traditional 35mm film. The main thing is go out, make a pinhole camera, and enjoy.